Oh, guess what, folks? It's Sunday night. It is your Sunday night delight. It's SmarkRage live on WrestleRage Radio, only on BeyondRingside.com. I've got my host, my tag team partner, El Dandy, Stan Grubb, the man on the ones and twos, the Magic City Motor Mouth, all the way from Palestine, Alabama.
Toto.
Fast. Eddie Layne, gentlemen, how the hell is it going?
It's just another weekend in paradise, sir.
That sounds like a phrase I use all the time.
It's an indie-rific weekend.
You know what? To be honest with you, I almost didn't make it.
What happened?
I smoked one of those funny cigarettes, and I fell asleep, and I almost forgot to call in.
Don't. You know, why would you bring that guy up?
I'm just saying.
Why would you even make a joke about that? That guy, let me tell you something.
I'm just saying.
I don't normally make it my business. I don't normally make it my business to start problems with those in the industry. But if you can't remember to come on the air because you're too busy getting stoned, I don't have nothing for you. And trust me, when it comes down to it and you're like, hey man, I got a big match coming up, can you help me promote it? That answer would be no. Your day has passed. Chill.
But I'm here. I'm here though. That's all that counts. Mr. Sunday Night.
I mean,
Mr. Sunday Night's
I don't
here.
even like to give people I don't like to give people a hard time. I really don't. But that kind of thing is just inexcusable.
You know, it's a new day. So man, coming off the heels of the Jimmy Rave Appreciation Night last night at Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, Jimmy Rave, former WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, the new evolved heavyweight champion, better known as Drew Galloway.
Evolved, not evolved. Last week
I said evolved.
What was it? Last week was no, last week you said some kind of crazy title. I don't even remember the title name. But then this week it's evolved. No, it's evolve.
Sorry, I had one of those funny cigarettes. I almost didn't make it. Be glad I showed up, okay? Be glad I showed up. And those two guys tore the damn roof off of that little building in Canton. Nice little crowd. They drew about 100, which has been good for the last 4 shows that they promoted. Larry Goodwin was out there, the writer for GeorgiaWrestlingHistory.com.
Yep.
I sat front row. He mentioned my good pal on the ones and twos, the Magic City Motor Mouth, all the way from Kabul, Alabama. Past Eddie Layne.
I'm sorry, we have no bananas.
It was a great night, man.
I'm sorry.
Got to the building a little early, about 6 or 6:30. They had meet and greet with Drew Galloway. They had about 50 or 60 people. Of those people for the meet and greet, great. Drew took time with everybody, signed everything, took pictures, autographs, let the kids hold the belt. I got to hold the Evolve Championship. I got a picture. Look on Facebook.
I swear I thought he was going to say Volvo for a second there.
No.
Volvo. Nice.
It's a good-looking belt.
I have the Volvo hubcaps.
It was a good-looking belt. Drew's a super nice guy, down-the-earth guy. Cut a nice little promo for us while we were standing there waiting for the show to start.
It'll play in the break a little bit later in the show.
Going to try to get him on the show. He's still contractually obligated, so he's got to be careful. Not contractually obligated to the WWE, I don't believe.
No.
But contractually obligated that he's got to pick and choose his wrestling radio shows. I may have brokered a deal, and once again, SmarkRage sold his soul to the devil. You may hear me sing live on WrestleRage Radio on BeyondRingside.com just to get an interview. It's happened before. I've done crazier things before. But
I'm not saying you sold your soul, but you can't sell what you never owned.
Well, that's true. Guys, if you want to read a recap on last night's show, go to GeorgiaWrestlingHistory.com. It's right there. All those pictures were courtesy of me. Now, you know what? This little iPhone takes great pictures. I took like 700 pictures. That's kind of easy to do when you got a burst camera. You just kind of hold it. But like at the end of the night, my phone had like 4%
battery.
But I was 4% battery, right? 4% battery and about 3 gigs left.
That's pretty good that it would survive that whole show, though.
Well,
I mean, 700 pictures.
Well, I got one of those adapters that plugs into the wall that charges the phone. You may have heard about it. It's called a wall charger.
I've got you beat. Every once in a while, after what happened to me in Atlanta during the, when I was coming over for the Garth Brooks concert, I went by the next day or on Monday and picked up a backup battery. See,
that's the only problem with this iPhone technology is it's an enclosed battery, so you can't swap out batteries as good as a 1997 BlackBerry.
No, actually, mine is a 2011 HTC Evo.
Well, is that like Evolve? Is that like Evo? You see, you guys are going to get me to mess up this name. I finally got it. We've got the Evolve Championship, the Evolve Champion possibly coming on. You're trying to trick me into screwing up this interview.
I don't think that would call for much tricking.
What are you saying?
We know you, Corey.
What are you guys saying? I booked Rob Conway. We got Rob Conway coming up at the top of the.
You mean at the bottom of the hour?
Bottom of the hour.
What did you do to book Rob Conway? Might I ask?
Kiss wrestler ass.
Wait, is there a Mark Bowman here?
Hey. Don't get Hitman to call in and talk about Rule 17, okay?
hey, listen, you know what? SmarkRage does what he has to do to get the interviews.
Just like Fast Eddie Layne does.
Hey, listen. I've been known to Eddie Way my lane through an interview.
Trust me. Yeah, I know. We've managed to turn my proper name into a freaking verb.
Hey, it is what it is. But Jimmy Rave Appreciation last night, hosted by the Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, live in Canton, Georgia. Packed crowd, 100 people. Had some great matches. I'm going to run it down real quick for you. You had Monstrosity Championship Wrestling is kind of like a... Eddie, you know what Monstrosity Championship Wrestling is?
Very familiar with it.
That is run by Jonathan Williams of WrestlingWithPopCulture.com.
Right.
Who is a close personal friend of mine. He sponsored a match last night. End Zone versus the Argyle Assassin Drew Game. That was a pretty good match. One of my other favorite matches last night on the card was Do or Die Chip Day going against his former best friend and Ring of Honor prospect. Going to be a guest.
Chip Day.
Well, you know.
Stop it.
Chip Day sucks. Chip
Stop
Day
it.
Sucks.
Hey. That's my buddy, okay?
Yeah, right. Get your shine box.
He was facing his former... you want to be my former friend, Stan? You and I can have a feud like Corey Hollis and Chip Day did. Corey Hollis, Chip Day.
We've been down that road, sir.
Yes, y'all have.
we have.
The whole internet knew it, too.
Except it wasn't a work. Owen Knight and his little plastic-ass girlfriend, Kiara, versus our former guest last week, Jeremy Foster, and another former guest, Priscilla Kelly.
Hey, how did our boy, the Curry Kid, do?
Well, I'm getting to that if you let me run the card down, okay? Last night we had...
hurry up. We got people coming on.
You know... Did you say... Never mind. People are coming when they're listening to us?
Keep going.
The Violence artist, Trevor Aon, defeated Marvelous Marco Polo.
Oh, wait a minute. Trevor was there?
Trevor was there.
Oh, son of a buzzard.
It looks like that the WWE stole his gimmick, because he's been doing that gimmick for about 3 or 4 years. 3 years. The Stardust gimmick. He's the Black Stardust, and I mean that with all due respect, except without the face paint. The kind of crazy... that's what it is.
He's Brother He's Brother Dust. He's Bro Dust.
I thought Corey was the racist one.
Trevor, wait.
Cross and Adrian Armour with their manager, Kevin Pierce, versus the Heartburn Foundation, Curry Kid, and his tag team partner, Creamy Curry.
Wait, what?
I'm just telling you, cream and curry. Yeah. People like to cream when they listen to us. So last night, Murder One was scheduled to. I believe he was scheduled to wrestle last night. All I know is he hit the ring and he took out Silent Cross and Adrian Armour with a steel chair. Great. Check it out on. You can check it out on my Facebook. Check it out on my personal Facebook. Check it out on my Vine. You can find all that crap. SmarkRage, just find it. It's there. Twitter, MySpace, Bebo, Zanga. DAT Alien and the Hollywood Kid Apollo. You know what? We're going to skip over this match because maybe I wrote a check that my body can, maybe I let my mouth overload my ass.
What a surprise.
One more time, right?
So if you guys want to go check it out, go to GeorgiaWrestlingHistory.com and you can read the results. Hit for Hire, Bobby Moore, defeated. He defeated him.
Inagata-Davida, baby.
He defeated by my Meatball, Tommy Pinarelli, Tommy Daniels, Tommy the Meatball, and the match that everybody was waiting for the Evolve Championship.
For the Evo Championship?
Evolved?
It was for the Evolve Championship, guys.
The Volvo Championship.
The Volvo Championship?
Oh, the Uvula Championship.
Stan's married. He hasn't seen a Volvo in about. How old's your son?
He's 2.
It's okay. It's okay.
In a couple of years, Eddie, your Viagra prescription ran out. You wouldn't know what a Volvo would do.
Although I do have the best
up and snapped you on the nose. Okay.
Although I do have a copy of Saturday Night Live season 3 with Bill Murray and Gilda Radner, so I do know what Babs's uvula was.
Well, you know. So, Jimmy Rave, Drew Galloway went 28 minutes for the Evolve Championship. Man, it was a fantastic back and forth. I'd say it was an old school match. They were chain wrestling. I wouldn't say he was my buddy because we're not friends. But Jimmy did what he did. Jimmy does this little in and out of the ring, like he'll get you come in, he'll go to shake your hand, then he'll stick his head up and think. God, I hate when he does it. That really incenses me.
Anybody throw toilet paper at him?
What's that?
Anybody throw toilet paper at him?
No, you know what? I forgot the toilet paper.
Damn.
Forgot the toilet paper. But
that explains a lot.
It was a fantastic match. I don't know if they're going to sell DVDs to this show.
They should.
But if they do, it'd be one to buy just for that match alone. And Jimmy Rave, talking about Jimmy Rave Appreciation Night, wound up being the Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment Appreciation Night. What I didn't know until last night, that Jimmy Rave actually wrestled for another promotion 100 miles away. Wrestled over at Peach State.
State in Carrollton, yeah.
So he wrestled his match and then drove 90 miles back to Canton to be at this match. So he had a double shot.
Yes.
So,
and knowing Jimmy, he probably made it there. It's a 90-mile drive. He probably made it in 43 minutes.
He made it there. He made it about 15 minutes before his match was supposed to start. That's how far apart it was. Show ran smooth like clockwork. I want to give a big thanks to Josh Wheeler and all his people at Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment for taking care of me again. No, Stan, get your mind out of the gutter. That's not how I got that interview with Drew Galloway or Jimmy Rave.
All I know is it involved the towel.
So, well, a boy's got to.
Can I towel the lotion off of you, sir? Can I towel the lotion off of you, sir? Let me get you your hot dog, sir.
I did get the interview, right?
That's all that matters.
They don't call me the king of blow pops for nothing.
Oh.
Oh.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Ask SmarkRage.
38 long licks.
Without using teeth, right?
Hashtag ask SmarkRage.
Hash brown, ask SmarkRage.
Well, it was a great show. They've got Ladies Appreciation Night next month at Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment.
What day?
You can go to Facebook.com, go look up Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. They'll give you details of next month's show. I believe it's Free Ladies Night. So, guys, bring your wives to wrestle on Saturday night. Yeah, it's fun. It was a fun show. The crowd, it was kind of a weird crowd. There's a lot of kids in there, and I will say this: Drew Galloway, again, stand-up class act kind of guy. He belongs in the SmarkRage Class Act show, Class Act Club. I can't speak
The
today.
Class Act show. You're awful. I mean, should we even let you have a headset? That's really the question.
I told you I smoked marijuana, and I almost didn't make it. Okay, this has not been a good day for me.
I'm sorry that we had to wake you out of your drunken stupor, sir.
Well, you know, but I will say this. So Jimmy Ray was doing his villainous tactics, and this little boy who was probably about 7, 8, or 9 was yelling, "Buck, chicken, chicken!" And Drew actually let the little kid climb up on the ring apron and put the mic to the kid's mouth and let him call Jimmy Rave. That's cool. Drew had a good time. He said he had fun, had a blast, gave that little kid a lasting memory for a lifetime. The kid will never forget it.
What did he call him? You just said he let him call Jimmy Rave, and that was it.
Oh, he let him call Jimmy Rave a chicken. And he let the little kid cluck in the mic. It was, it was cool.
Don't forget the payoff there, buddy.
Sorry,
You're
but I
screwing
think
the finish.
I think the kid stole his shine.
Oh.
And then I got mad because I was
Sunshine.
wait, that's my bit, kid. I'm the one that steals the shine.
Yeah, just ask Blip.
Well, all I know is that
the radar.
All I know is I left my shoe shine box in the car. Folks, at the bottom of the hour, in about 13 minutes, we're going to go live with the reigning, defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the IronMan, Rob Conway. Man, this guy's done everything in the world of pro wrestling. He's wrestled for WWE. He was a tag team champion, NWA champion, multiple WWE tag team champion. Look forward to talking to the guy. And I've got it under good authority. There's going to be a surprise caller calling in at 10 o'clock. You never know what's going to happen on WrestleRage Radio with SmarkRage and Stan.
Except when you tell people it's going to be a surprise and it's not a surprise anymore. Thanks. Way to go. You suck at this.
I smoked drugs before. Be happy I made it here.
You smoked drugs.
I'm kidding. I don't smoke drugs. You want to know what I smoked? It was about 3 chickens.
At least the truth comes out.
Well, So Stan, so what did you think? What do you got going in wrestling this weekend? Did you do anything? Did your wife let you out of the house?
Nope. I was kept under lock and key, sir. Working for a living. That's what I do. Hey, I did play WWE Supercard religiously, like it was going out of style. And I have to be honest, the 2K games have come up with a game that is simple and addictive all at the same time. Have you had a chance to play this yet?
Yeah, I have. I played on my iPad. Can't get it on my damn iPhone, which makes absolutely no sense.
Probably because it's you. They probably have a SmarkRage rule.
That's true. I think I'm on that WWE list. That's why we can't get WWE people on the thing.
Speaking about WWE lists, how about the person who attempted to hold the WWE up for $50,000?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I got WWE.org, and I'm going to make sure you pay. You guys don't even know who I am, except that they won their lawsuit. So
it looked like a 3-year-old wrote the friggin' hostage letter,
I'm holding your website hostage. Give me $50,000 and some glazed donuts, or I'm taking it.
Hey, Eddie, I'm taking BeyondRingside.com when it runs out, and I want 500 baked smoked chicken wings, light hot sauce, or I'm taking it down.
Okay.
Okay?
Good. You pay the bill. No, good. You pay the bill.
Son of a biscuit eater.
So if you want to hijack the website and the server and everything, good. You pay the bill.
No, I just want to pay for the domain. Domain's like $9.
So I've got it through 2017, so you're going to have to wait. Actually, I've got it through 2016. I'll tell the truth.
You know what? Maybe I'll just go to Facebook and have them change your name to a real name.
Good luck with that. That's why I put out the. That's why I put out the call on the Beyond Ringside Friends page. Folks, let me go ahead and lay this one out there. For everybody listening live and on the replays, if you are on the Beyond Ringside Friends page, please take a minute, go to facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Run it all together, no hashes or anything like that. Just go ahead and that page and click like. That is our fan page. We run similar content, and with Facebook being bitches about the way they're doing some things and enforcing things for one segment of the population and not the other, I want to go ahead and make sure that nobody misses out. So please take a moment. Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Run it all together. Click like, and you will definitely stay in the loop.
And while you're doing that, head over to Facebook.com and search WrestleRage Radio with SmarkRage and Stan. I am the beauty, Stan is the brains.
Actually, folks, if you go to Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside and scroll down, you'll see where I have listed all the Facebook pages for all the shows of the Beyond Ringside Network. So all you have to do is just click through, and it'll take you straight to the page, and you can like it.
Or you could do that.
Damn, I make things hard, don't I?
You will like it, whether you like it or not. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
Wait, what? If you don't like it, I'm coming over to your house and scaring your children and eating their gummy bears.
I don't have any...
Trust me, you don't want Corey coming over to your house.
I don't have kids. I have stuffed animals, and trust me, if I just let the speakers go loud, the stuffed animals run and hide.
Man, oh man! So, guys, with about a few minutes before
really,
we take
are you watching a stopwatch? What are you doing?
I'm watching a stopwatch. You know, I've got to produce.
You need help, buddy.
I've got to produce a show. I've got to host a show. I've got to tweet the show. I've got to Facebook the show. I don't know how to use the Facebook Twitter account or Facebook account.
The Facebook Twitter account.
It's okay.
I need to listen.
Awesome.
Listen, I need to put this baked chicken down. I'm getting way too high over here. Okay, I'm getting way too high for this chicken.
Just remember, dude, if you're gonna smoke a chicken, just be careful because you don't want to smoke it all day.
You know, here's the thing.
It's real dried up and useless.
The thing is,
instead of being able to pull it apart, it'll chip apart.
Well, you want to know what happened to me? I almost chipped.
That sees the light of day.
I
already did the day joke.
I almost chipped the tooth today.
Ouch.
Yeah, but
are you
okay?
It
didn't matter. You were half stoned.
Well, it was a do or die situation, guys.
Too far. Too tsunami.
Well,
too tsunami.
Hashtag Gerbil Jesus Christ. That was too tsunami.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Magic City Motormouth, all the way from Kabul, Iran,
the Punjab Playboy.
Jesus, I need to put this chicken down. There's elephants in the room. What the hell?
No, that's just you, buddy. You're looking in the mirror.
Whoa.
That's your arm, not your trunk.
Maybe I can get that sandwich.
Here you go.
For the second half of the show.
You have to choose whose team you're going to be on, Randy Orton's or John Cena's.
Can I take death?
Stan?
How about, I'll be on Team Orton. How about Randy Orton becoming like
you bury the guy week after week after week?
Maybe it's because he's got Scottish soccer players doing the RKO to their teammates after they hit a goal.
I will gladly go on Team Orton because we all know that Randy Orton has successfully RKO'd the internet.
He has.
He is amazing. This guy in what, 3 weeks time? Is it possible in 3 weeks' time a guy can go from irrelevant to the talk of the town? Is that really possible?
Actually, because a wrestling fan made him a talk of the town. And the thing is, now that the WWE's got their hand in it, it's already jumped the shark.
Yep. Very true.
Oh, I didn't see that part. They got their hand in it now?
They're tweeting it on Twitter.
Yes, they are. Folks, do me a favor. I'm going to go ahead and cut in. We're going to head to a brief commercial break. Hang with us. WrestleRage Radio with SmarkRage and Stan continues right after this.
Comrades, it is my pleasure as a Russian bear to be on your program, WrestleRage Radio, the greatest programmer in the world today.
Hey everyone, this is the Cause, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is the New Weapon Show with Jerry Layne, and I just felt the rage at WrestleRage Radio, and now I need to see a doctor and get rid of this burning sensation.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is the rock and roll model, the hair metal heartthrob, none other than Matt Sexcells, and I just felt the rage on WrestleRage Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Beyond Ringside Radio Network, WrestleRage Radio. It's me, Stan Grubb, and of course the co-host with the most, the hostess, cupcake eating, pie eating, chicken eating,
chicken smoking,
something. SmarkRage.
Listen, get it right. It's the man with the heart of cupcake filled with pudding filling. Folks, we're live. We are back on WrestleRage Radio with myself, my co-host, Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Now we are with one and only the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Rob Conway. Champ, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Happy to be here with you guys, promoting the NWA and talking about wrestling. You know, nothing I like more than talking about wrestling, except maybe going out there and actually doing it.
Well, we thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
It's just it's an amazing thing to be able to sit here and look at the list of people we've talked to in the past, and to be able to sit here now and talk to the reigning, defending World Heavyweight Champion for the NWA. Mr. Conway, you have been performing in this wrestling industry for a long time. You were very successful in the WWE. You're now at the top of the food chain for the NWA. Just as a general, just an opener here, how does it feel for you to have started and come through so many different avenues in professional wrestling, and to be where you are now as really the top of the food chain, the top man in the industry?
I mean, it's humbling. You know, you start out in your first day and you're training, and you think, man, you know, one day I just want to have a match, and then you work your way into having matches, and then you want to be the best at your promotion, and then hopefully make it to where you can travel around and wrestle, and then you're looking up to guys, and then, years kind of fly by and you're wrestling, and then one day, guys are kind of looking up to you and they want to be in the spot that you're in. So when you look back at, kind of where you started and where you are now, for myself, it's, I had high goals when I started, but for the most part, they're more like dreams. You dream of being the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the dream of being a WWE Tag Team Champion, something like that. And then when they come true, you look back at it and think, man, how did that happen to a guy from New Albany, Indiana?
So we'll go ahead and we'll ask the generic question, because I think fans that are getting to know you from just a wrestling perspective always like to know where you got your start. What was it? What got you into the industry? Was it just a Saturday morning watching WWF Superstars? Was it further back than that? What brought you into wrestling?
Well, I mean, I grew up watching it on television and going to wrestling events at the Louisville Gardens from the time I was like third or fourth grade. Went probably up until I was in high school, and at one point, like, I went to the Louisville Gardens to watch with about 3,000 or 4,000 other people the WrestleMania 3 on closed circuit television. So I watched it as a kid, and I played high school, and I played college sports. I played college basketball, and then I got into working out and got, into bodybuilding contests and really into working out. And people just, I was watching wrestling on TV the whole time, but, people would come up to me on the street and ask me if I was a wrestler. And I was like, how would I become a wrestler? And it just so happens I'm driving down the street in Jeffersonville, Indiana on my way to work, and I look over to my left, and there's a sign that says Nightmare Danny Davis School of Professional Wrestling. Live event Sunday at 7 o'clock. So that Sunday, I stopped in and watched the event and thought, man, I can do this. And I signed up with him, Nightmare Danny Davis, to train, which later became Ohio Valley Wrestling. And that's how I got my start. And then within about a year of the time that I started training, Jim Cornette, who was friends with Danny Davis and was from the Louisville area, said he needed some guys to come up and, kind of do tryout matches or dark matches at the WWE. So I got to go to Rep Arena and kind of get seen by the WWE, within a year of even starting to train. So I was kind of on the radar of the WWE from an early point in my career. So that's kind of like how I got into it. I mean, I literally just drove down the street and saw a sign that said School of Professional Wrestling, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time because that became the developmental territory for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, that's just reads, your resume for professional wrestling reads like a checklist of success. When you go to Ohio Valley, you work with Danny Davis, you get the nod from Jim Cornette. All of these things that you've been doing of keeping yourself not just busy but intertwined with wrestling and success. From looking back on it to where you're at now, did you ever have the inkling that you would be where you're at? I mean, obviously you had the dream, you had the motivation and the drive, but does it ever seem surreal to you now when you look at where you're at?
It does, because now I know how many people get into wrestling and never get the opportunity to do the things that I've done. But when I first got into it, it never dawned on me that there was any possibility that I would not make it. I mean, it just, I'm going to do this. I told everybody I was going to do it. And I had like laser focus on making a living at being a professional wrestler. But because I was kind of naive and didn't realize that, hey, there's hundreds, if not thousands of guys who say that same thing. But I've always been the type of guy that if I said I was going to do something and worked at it, almost everything that I've ever tried to do worked out. I mean, because if you just work at it hard enough, it might take you a few tries, but you usually, whether it be being Mr. Louisville or like we said, winning bodybuilding contests or getting a college basketball scholarship. I mean, I set out to do them, and if you there's a formula of working hard and treating people good and showing up on time and trying at it long enough that if you don't give up, you're probably gonna, achieve it.
And achieve it you have. I mean, it's no small feat to do what you've been doing. I have to wonder, and I think this happens to a lot of guys, especially recently. You see guys that have been released and had to find a way of being successful in this business. Now, you're a pretty good example of what it means that says that WWE is not the end-all, be-all. As a matter of fact, you've now transitioned into probably one of the most successful released WWE performers that they could have. I mean, I look at the NWA title, it's still in high regard. I think a lot of wrestling fans would agree. When you were originally released and you started transitioning to indie performances and just working for the NWA, was there anybody that contacted you to kind of help walk you through it, or was it really just a lone wolf kind of scenario?
For the most part, it's kind of you're kind of on your own. I mean, you have friends that maybe are working in independent promotions that you met over the years and can kind of steer you in the right direction of good promotions to work with and things like that. But I mean, I was in Ohio Valley Wrestling from 97 to 2000. Okay, and I wrestled for them, and I got to wrestle for Music City Wrestling that was on in 180 cable markets that was based out of Nashville. You know, and I was under contract with WWE from 2000 to 2007. So I've been wrestling for 17 years, and only 7 of those years were with WWE. So I mean, I love the WWE. They were great to me, and I, you know, really helped me get my name out there, and you know, my house, everything I own for the most part was because of the time that I spent there. But they're just one company. So if you really want to be a professional wrestler and you don't wrestle for the WWE, there's plenty of other places to wrestle. It's just, I think that because they're the big name, you know, if you started out in the WWE, you know, if you were an athlete that never wrestled anywhere and they hire you and train you and you didn't pay the same kind of dues that guys pay when they start out independently, then you might be completely lost if you've only wrestled in front of 5,000 or 10,000 people every night and had your travel planned for you. But, you know,
right.
For me, I mean, I'd done it before, and I just went back to doing it again. And, you know, it takes a little bit of an adjustment period, but, I mean, it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, professional wrestling, to me, is a lot more fun, and that's what I grew up watching compared to sports entertainment. They're two different things. So if the guys that are getting into the wrestling business now and only watch what they see on television is not really the same thing as you get when you go watch an NWA show.
Thank you.
Well, what makes a good pro wrestler and what makes a good sports entertainer?
Well, I mean, a sports entertainer has to realize that, like, the television show is there to entertain. And it doesn't necessarily have to entertain people through professional wrestling. I mean, they do backstage segments that are entertaining. They do, you know, in-ring. It's kind of a variety show. You know, you use 2 hours of show, and, you know, sometimes you might get an hour of professional wrestling in it. But they don't even call it professional wrestling. So you have to kind of be an entertainer in all aspects. And the wrestling doesn't necessarily have to be all you do. In professional wrestling, you might get to talk on the microphone, but you're doing it to get your point across of this is what I'm planning on doing in my match if I get the chance to wrestle, or this is what I just did. But the main entertainment to professional wrestling is actually what goes on inside the ring.
Rob, if I could, please. I kind of asked a similar version of this question when you were kind enough to sit down with me a while back. And I'd like to ask the same question, but with a little bit of a twist.
Okay.
Your nickname has been the IronMan. But I have to say, based on the resume that you built up over your run, it would be more apt to put the medal gold in there. Because whether it be singles championships or tag team championships, whether it be WWE, OVW, Music City, the National Wrestling Alliance, you have been a champion. And it's like in this particular timeline right now, multi-time National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion. In addition to that, with Godzilla Jax Dane, held the tag titles. The question I'd like to give to you is, the first time a belt went over your shoulder, around your waist, in your hands, compare that to winning the World Championship for the second time in this timeline.
The first time that I won a championship was the Ohio Valley Wrestling, which they were affiliated with the NWA, so it was the Southern Tag Team titles.
Right.
And with Nick Dinsmore. I mean, it was a great feeling. It was like, wow, you know, we're the tag team champions here in Ohio Valley Wrestling. That makes us, and we were generally the main event there more than just the singles champions. So at the time, it was like, hey, this is great, and I'm gonna, you know, felt like it was, you know, it was fun, and it felt like an accomplishment, but it also felt like a stepping stone that, you know, this is great, but now that we're the tag champs in Ohio Valley Wrestling, let's try to be the tag team champions. Because I was a tag team wrestler then, you know, let's go to Music City, and then we became the tag team champions then, and let's go on and so on and so forth. When I won the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship for the second time, it wasn't, you know, I mean, I'd been wrestling for 16 and a half, almost 17 years when I won it the second time. And every time that you win, you know, it could be the last time. I mean, it's not, you know, it could be it. You know, if I lose it, I might not even get another match again for it. So that it's just completely different. When you're, you know, fresh into your career and you're winning your first championship, it means a lot to you, but the possibilities are pretty much endless. But when you are considered a veteran that's been wrestling for a long time, and I've had some injuries, you know, here and there where I thought, you know, I don't know, I tore my bicep 2 years ago in a match, and, you know, the muscle just rolled up my arm, and I thought, man, this might be it. And it was the same ring that I tore my bicep in that I ended up winning the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship in San Antonio. And I was really emotional then because I really thought this might be it. My arm might never heal, you know. And so that was a big thing. And winning it the second time, it just, like I said, it was, you don't reflect on your accomplishments when you're 24. You just, you know, but when you're 17 years in, every match, every championship, every trip, you know, to overseas, you stop to smell the roses a lot more, whereas I never did that before. It was always, you know, the best is yet to come. And I hope that I still have the best yet to come. But for the most part, if not, then I've done more than most.
Well,
it's got to be a scary thing when you tear a bicep or anything like that. Any injury like that in the middle of the ring, it's got to be an emotional point just from that perspective. I can see how it'd be almost overwhelming to come back to that spot. Just even if you were just coming back just to put someone else over. I mean, you came back in a big way by winning the title there. I mean, it's interesting to hear you describe that.
Well, when I tore my bicep and I thought, man, this could be it, and I couldn't work out, I couldn't wrestle for about 3 or 4 months. I was just in a cast and then had to rehab it. I mean, you don't realize how much you love something until it's taken away from you. And then the next thing you know, I'm studying wrestling again. I'm watching more video. I'm adding new moves. I mean, you know, as soon as I got healthy, I couldn't wait to wrestle again. And I couldn't wait to, I mean, it just recharged my batteries, and then I was just really thankful for the opportunity. So, you know, I felt like I've gotten to be a better wrestler in the last 2 years than I've ever been. I mean, I actually do more, you know, I added some, you know, I mean, added more moves, watched more tapes, you know, trying to be more flexible and more athletic. So.
What some of the tapes are you watching? Who are the top 5 guys in the wrestling industry now that you've got your eye on?
I really don't watch a lot of this stuff that's current. I mean, like, I went back, and once I got involved with being the NWA champion, I mean, I always watched Ric Flair, but then I really started watching it, you know, even more, you know, how he carried himself. I started watching, I'm about the same size as the Macho Man Randy Savage, so I started watching how he, you know, moves and some things that he did. And then I watch a lot of the New Japan Pro Wrestling videos as well, and more of the current stuff, because those guys are just amazing athletes. And I think the NWA being professional wrestling, that right now the New Japan Pro Wrestling, as far as the television product, is by far the best pro wrestling out there, whereas WWE and TNA are sports entertainment. So, yeah, watching, I mean, the guys over there, there's a guy by the name of Tanahashi who's amazing. Okada is another guy that's a main event guy who's amazing to watch. So those are the kind of guys that I watch over there. And then, you know, knowing I was going to get Kojima and Tenzan, you know, I really started watching a lot of their matches and didn't realize that, for instance, Tenzan, who if you're familiar, that's who we lost the tag team titles to. You know, he main evented in WCW against Randy Savage. He wrestled him at the Tokyo Dome in 1996 in front of 50,000 people. So he's been wrestling for 24 years himself. It was and to watch the evolution of how he was wrestling, 20 years ago compared to how he's wrestling now. So it's it's a never-ending process.
Is just an amazing guy.
Yeah, if you're not watching tapes and if you're not still trying to learn, then you probably should hang it up, because if you think you know it all, then you don't really know too much.
If I may, whether it be, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We're all jumping at the bit here. When you're talking about just wrestling in general, when you look at it from a psychology standpoint, is that what you're gathering from when you're looking at what Ric Flair did, or is it more of just his attitude and the way he carried himself?
Yeah, I mean, just everything about how he carried himself. Ric Flair is synonymous with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He didn't have it all the time, but even when he didn't have it, you still thought him as being the champ. And there's got Terry Funk, Harley Race. Those guys, whether they were the champion or not, they still carried themselves. All their matches were still championship caliber. You can't go watch any of their matches and be like, oh, he didn't look like he really gave it 110% that night, because whether he was the champion or not, he was still Harley Race. And it's still Ric Flair, and people still pay to see them. So knowing that people are paying to see you, whether there's 200, 300, 400, or 5,000 there, they still put on the effort that you would expect out of a Ric Flair or a Terry Funk or a Harley Race. They still wore their nice robes, whether they were on TV or whether or not they were, in a house show in Birmingham, Alabama. He was still Ric Flair, and he was still Ric Flair when he was in the airport or whatever. And I've been around those guys and know that they carry themselves like champions all the time.
Actually, if I could, Rob, it's really been a thing that I've wanted to ask for a little while, because whether it be with Sylvan, whether it be with Nick Dinsmore, or whether it be with Godzilla. God, Jax will kill me for that, I know. Y'all were called the Iron Gods, and I remember that quite well. Tag team wrestling for you has almost been as synonymous in your career to a great degree as singles wrestling. And I have to ask, when it comes to tag team wrestling, how do you know? Is it a gut feeling? Is it a click in the brain? Or is it just something that it's an aura thing when you found the right partner to work with?
Yeah, I mean, I've teamed with a lot of different guys over the years, and sometimes you just team with a guy for once or twice, and sometimes you team with guys hundreds of times. But yeah, when you get the right combination and somebody you get along with, I think you have to really be able to get along with them all the time, not just when you're teamed up. And that makes a big difference. Me and Jax have gotten to be great friends. Me and Sylvan were great friends. Me and Nick Dinsmore, who I've teamed with like 190-something times, have been, we're really, we could go out to eat, we could go work out, we could go to the events, and we got along great. And there's people that I've teamed with, and it's not that we didn't get along that good, it's just that we just didn't really hit it off, so we teamed together a couple times and just kind of moved on. There was never a confrontation so much as just like, if you don't want to drive and fly with the person and be friends with them, then the team stuff doesn't really go either.
Right. Stan?
Folks, we are talking live to the World Heavyweight Champion, the reigning, defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Got to steal a little bit from Paul Heyman there. And we're really getting some tremendous information from Rob Conway. We're very, very appreciative to have him. It's just about to the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and cruise on into our second break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to continue to talk with Rob about his title defenses, his schedule upcoming, and everything that's going on with the NWA. So stick with us right here at WrestleRage Radio on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Oh, feel the rage! Yeah!
Listen, 5, 4. This is former WWE superstar Gene Snitsky, and I just felt the rage on WrestleRage Radio. And whatever happens, it's not my fault.
All bad things must come to an end. The world's most notorious rock band is saying goodbye forever. Dodge presents Motley Crue, the final tour, with very special guest Alice Cooper. Friday, August 15th, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Motley Crue, the final tour. For more info and tour dates, visit motley.com.
All right, you super fans out there, this is Ahmed Johnson, WWF Intercontinental Champion, and I just dropped the rage on Wrestling Rage Radio.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Cue Ball Carmichael, and I just felt the rage on WrestleRage Radio. Listen up, friends.
This is NWA World Heavyweight Champion, IronMan Rob Conway, and you're listening to the Ringside Radio with the guys here at SmarkRage. But more importantly, Tyson Dean has just decided to call into the show and tell us why he wants an opportunity to wrestle me for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, there you have it. Jumping right in. Tyson Dean, the NWA Georgia Heavyweight Champion. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you on. And, of course, we've got the World Heavyweight Champion, Rob Conway, who, Rob, if you don't mind me saying, you're already better than Corey at bringing us back from break. If you'd like to hang out anytime, you're welcome.
Hey, listen, Rob, you could have the job. You get no benefits, no perks. You do get free smoked chicken, though.
Well, I'll tell you what, if this NWA World Heavyweight Championship doesn't work out, then maybe, I'll apply for another job.
Hey, you never say never,
So when's
It's
your
only a
next show
slight
after,
step down.
When's your next show after next weekend, then, Corey? That'd be the weekend of November, first weekend of November.
You know what, Tyson? I gave you the opportunity. First of all, this is the interview for the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the IronMan Rob Conway, and here you are trying to bogart your way onto this guy's interview.
I'm merely trying to give Mr. Conway an opportunity to know when he needs to turn in his application. That's what I'm trying to do.
You know what?
First weekend in November, after I've got his title coming next weekend on the 24th. When I become the world champion, Mr. Conway could step into your place at the show.
You know what, Mr. Conway? You've been wrestling for 17 years. You have never had to have anybody speak for you. So you've got the floor. You're the NWA heavyweight champion. You tell Tyson how it is.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone that I've gone up against up until this point has informed me that they are the next NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Every single guy, whether it be Rhino, whether it be Chris Masters, whether it be Jushin Thunder Liger. Last night it was the Golden Boy Greg Anthony. You know, whether it be Kojima, Nakanishi, you know, all the guys that I faced in New Japan, every one of them looked me in the eye and they said, they're the next NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And what I've simply told them, because I don't like to get all hot and bothered, but I'm going to tell Tyson Dean, you know, the same thing that I've told each and every one of them that didn't get it done. To be the man, you got to beat the Iron Man. And it's a lot easier said than it is done. So come October the 25th, when I come to Atlanta, it's not going to be talk anymore. You're not going to be going on social media to say what you're going to do on the 25th. You're going to be in the ring with me face to face. And see, this is by far the biggest match of your life. You've never had an NWA World Heavyweight Championship match before, which is fine, but I've had a lot of them. And all of them, except for one, in front of 40,000 people, in Japan with everyone against me. Besides that, every one of them, I've been successful. So saying it and doing it are completely different. I know it's something you've wanted for a long time, but once you get in the ring and you wanted it, now you've got it. You're going to have what you wanted. So just don't blow it. Okay? Make the most out of it. Because it's a serious thing to get in the ring with the champion. Because I know what it's like to be the champion. And this championship belt has meant a lot to me and my family for the last year and a half. And I know what I'm willing to do to keep it. And I don't know if you are willing to go as far as I'm willing to go in order for you to take it away from me. So just think about that.
So I put all the thought into it, and I know you're the champion, and I'm getting the opportunity of a lifetime. But with the advantage I've got is where you've had to focus on all these other people. I've had to focus on keeping the Georgia title so that I could get my shot against you. But outside of that, every day in the gym, every day training in a ring, you're on my mind. So, yeah, come next weekend, I'm willing to go to hell and back and push you further than these other guys have pushed you because, I mean, yeah, I've never had a world title opportunity. And I don't know that these other guys that you've been in the ring with are as hungry as I am. So come next weekend, yeah, I'm willing to lay it all on the line and do not intend on coming up short.
You know, that's music to my ears, man. I mean, I want you to bring your A game. Because whether I win or whether I lose, the NWA is going to win. Because we're going to go out there and give it everything that we have. And we both have a common goal. You want to be the NWA World Champion? I want to stay the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So, you know, I welcome it. I want you to be at your best. You know, to steal a line from Arnold Schwarzenegger, you are hungry. I understand that. But when I want the food, it's already there. You want what I already have. I'm looking at this championship belt right now. And I plan on continuing to look at it with it in my hand after the match is over. But I'm happy that you've been training hard and you've been giving everything you have and that you are taking this as if it is the chance of a lifetime. Because after the match is over, you're going to look back and say, man, that was my opportunity that I had. And if I'd have just been a little bit better, I too could be an Iron Man.
Well, let me put this out there, okay? Let's play devil's advocate. let's just say, for the sake of the argument, and listen, I'm not putting this bad juju or this wood on you, Rob, because I like you. I think you're a great guy. But let's just say, for the sake of the argument, Tyson Dean gets you, small package, you're there, 1, 2, 3. What do you do? What do you do after that? Where do you go?
Let's just say, for devil's advocate, that I put him on the top rope and I spin out and dropped him on the back of his neck with an ego trip. Where do I go? I would go November the 8th and defend the championship in Knoxville.
Well,
if something were to happen and the sky didn't, if the sky, if the sun didn't come up tomorrow, let's say that. But I'm just saying is I'm not thinking that way. The thought never crossed my mind.
But I mean,
you can't look ahead.
All it takes is 3
I haven't
seconds.
even thought about Tyson Dean until today because I had to worry about Greg Anthony. Yeah, he's been able to think about me for a long time, and he knows that he's had his opportunity. But had I lost last night, he would have had to go against Greg Anthony. So it's familiar territory, and you can only think positive. You can't let negative thoughts in your mind. He's a smart guy. I've met Tyson Dean before. I know I've never wrestled him, but I've watched him. He's well built. He's hungry. He's one of the biggest up and coming wrestling superstars in the Georgia area. I'm not familiar with him, and I respect him, but I also believe that I'm going to win, and I would think nothing else than the fact that he believes he's going to win. So that's why we have the match.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I tell you,
that's
man.
one thing that I have no doubt whatsoever in my abilities. And yeah, I respect your position because right now you are the best in the world, and you're where I want to be. And next weekend I've got my opportunity to show that I want that spot. And I deserve to be in that spot. And at the end of the night, that's where I plan on being. And that's the advantage I feel that I hold because you've got to worry about November 8th. Right now, October 25th, the biggest thing I've had to do other than train for Rob Conway is fight like hell to keep that NWA Georgia heavyweight title so that I don't lose that opportunity. And I've scrapped week in and week out to keep that title so that come October 25th, it's me and Rob Conway in that ring.
And gentlemen, if I could cut in for 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, as you're listening to WrestleRage Radio tonight, Rob Conway, Tyson Dean getting ready to lock it up Saturday night, October the 25th in Griffin, Georgia, as NWA Atlanta presents October Havoc at the Taylor Street Gymnasium, 234 East Taylor Street in Griffin, Georgia. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. Real quick, check out nwaatlanta.org. And for ticket information, get your pens ready, 678-873-4010. Once again, NWA Atlanta, they got it going on this one. Stan, come on in.
I tell you what, guys, there is a tremendous amount of confidence from both sides of the microphone coming from both challenger and champion, or should I say champion and champion. It's an impressive lineup, to say the least. Tyson, how do you feel going into this match knowing that your target doesn't leave your back? As being a Georgia heavyweight champion, you're going in with focus on Rob Conway, but you've still got a target on your back, whereas he's worrying about his challengers as he goes forward. You've got to look behind you as you're going forward. It's got to be a high-pressure situation for you.
Yeah, I think that's true for me and Rob. I'm not gonna take anything away from Rob Conway. Like you said, I've met him in the past. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for the man. It's just, next Saturday night it's all business. But yeah, you're right. I do. Both of us are in that situation. After that match Saturday night, come win, lose, or draw, he's got to move on to who he's got November 8th, and same for me. I've got to turn around and the following weekend, I've got Johnny Swinger on November 8th for the Georgia title. And the guys I've been in the ring with here lately haven't been slouches. Was in the ring with Gunner here recently. Rick Steiner, big Simon Sermon last night. Guys that, the top guys in Georgia. I've fought to stay on top just for next weekend. So yeah, I mean, then you're right though. Every week it's a different challenger, and I don't plan on losing that position.
So that leads into another question, and this is for both of you gentlemen. Tyson, what exactly are you going to do to make sure that you walk away world champion?
I mean, just what I said earlier to Rob. I mean, I've trained harder. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. Mentally, physically, in the ring, out of the ring, studying his film and everything. And in studying film on Conway, I've realized there's a lot of similarities between our styles. I'm excited about the matchup. I mean, if there wasn't a world title involved, I'd still be excited over being in the ring with Rob Conway just because of how similar the styles are. It's a matchup that I'm really looking forward to. And so I lost track of what the question. You asked me how I'm going to defeat Rob Conway?
Yeah, how do you go into this matchup? What is your plan to take the title? I mean, this is a situation where you have to beat him. He does not have to beat you. Obviously, from a fighting champion standpoint, I wouldn't expect that type of mentality, but everybody knows the name of the game. To get to that prize, man, you've got to put his shoulders to the mat or make him say, "I quit." Not an easy task.
Well, it's like what Rob was saying about the ego trip. That's a move that I saw it in training and everything to learn so much about Conway. I've started using it myself. My plan next weekend is to hit the ego trip on Rob Conway and take the NWA World Heavyweight title. I've studied the man in and out, and I think I pretty well got it down to where next weekend there won't be any surprises.
And Champ, I mean, what are you prepared to do to keep your title? What will you go to? What lengths will you go to keep the title?
I mean, I've got to where the NWA World Heavyweight Championship has kind of become part of my identity. People kind of think of me, and they think of the NWA, and they think of me being the champion. So there's been some times. See, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tyson, and I think he has respect for me because he knows he's going to be facing me, and he knows that over the years, I mean, most people know me as the IronMan, and I'm a pretty nice guy, and I enjoy meeting all the fans and going to the, I call them the NWA family, everybody that comes to the shows. But Tyson, on the other hand, while he might have a tremendous amount of respect for me and want my championship, the biggest difference is his attitude toward the NWA family, the NWA fans, the people there in NWA Atlanta. See, he the way he talks now is not the same cocky, arrogant attitude that I hear him having as the Georgia heavyweight champion. But what I get down to is that although I've embraced all of the wrestling supporters over the last 7 years, there was a time, a long period of time in my career when, I didn't really mind doing whatever it took. I didn't mind breaking rules. I might have hit a guy with a flag once or twice, some different things. And what I find myself doing is if the going gets too rough, although I still love the fans, it doesn't mean that I won't use whatever means necessary to win a match and to retain the championship. And I feel like, knowing what I've seen of him, he'll do anything it takes to keep that Georgia championship wrestling. He wants to be the Georgia champion. He wants to be the heavyweight champion. So I just think when it comes down to it, both of us will dip down into our bag of tricks and do whatever we can to win that match. And I think going into it, we both know that's going to happen. So ultimately, I guess, whoever hits the biggest move and gets the biggest advantage last is going to walk out of there or get carried out of there or crawl out of there with the NWA World Heavyweight Champ. And I tell you what, I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to face a guy, when I look across from him, he's a muscular guy. As a matter of fact, he wears sunglasses. It's pretty much pretty similar to myself. So we're going to see. We're going to prove it in the ring. You know, if you want to know what we're willing to do to win this match, October the 25th, you need to be there.
There you go. So, Tyson, I mean, this is your chance, man. This is your time to tell the champion what to expect from you when it comes to fight night. Last words for the champion, Rob Conway.
That's pretty much what Rob just nailed it on the head. I mean, yeah, I don't embrace a lot of the Georgia people and everything. They've not embraced me over the years. They've not given me the respect that I feel that I deserve as the Georgia champion. I mean, I come down from New York. I showed all the Georgia athletes that apparently they weren't up to par. So I've reigned as the Georgia heavyweight champion. I'm tired of looking at the people of Georgia. I want to come in there, and there is not an end to where I would go to walk out next weekend, October 25th, as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. By hook or by crook, Rob's not leaving out of there with that title. So, yeah, that's my ticket out of having to look at all the rednecks of Georgia. And, yeah, I mean, I'll just cut straight to the chase. Next weekend, I'm leaving the NWA World Heavyweight Champion because I'm sick of looking at the people of Georgia, and I'm ready to step up.
So for one man, we've got the championship defining as part of the identity. For another man, his ticket out of one state and into the rest of the world. We've got a lot of things riding on this fight, gentlemen. I imagine that there will be only your finest work getting out there into the ring. So that is going to be an exciting matchup. We look forward to not just seeing the results, but also seeing what happens in this match. So
you want to know what?
Go ahead and head in. Go ahead, Corey.
We're not gonna head into the break. I'm gonna say this. You know, Rob. Before I was a little bit skeptical about you possibly losing the title, but knowing Tyson, as long as I've known him, Tyson and I used to be real good close buddies until he turned his back on Georgia and the Georgia wrestling fans. Me being a Georgia quote unquote redneck, I hope you punch him in his mouth. I hope you make him bleed. I hope you do whatever you have to do to hold on to that NWA title. And Tyson, I think you wrote a check your body can't cash, man. You can't beat
brother, the bank account's full. It's full and ready to go. You've been sucking up to Conway all week. I'm looking forward. I've seen all that, how you're looking forward to having Rob Conway, and you've ignored me, and that's fine. That's more than the point of why I'm ready to take on Rob Conway and just stop looking at the people like you in Georgia, Corey.
Rob, punch him in the mouth for me.
I'll make sure to do my best to make that when I leave there, that he has a new respect for all of the people in Georgia. Because to be the world's heavyweight champion, you have to be the champion of Georgia too. And you got to have their respect, and you got to respect them.
There you have it, gentlemen. It's going to be an interesting fight, to say the least. And I say fight because this has a big fight feel. When I think about title versus champion versus champion kind of matches, those are the feelings you get. It's butterflies in the stomach. It's anxiety. It's electricity you can cut with a knife, to quote Gorilla Monsoon. May he rest in peace. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
This is not going to be a sports entertainment match. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be a pro wrestling match. It's going to be two men in a 20-by-20 ring fighting for 10 pounds of gold. And the best man, Rob Conway, is going to come out victorious.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, if I may, let me throw this one out there for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 letters involved in this match, in this whole night of professional wrestling action. NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, the oldest and largest governing body of professional wrestling known the world over. You have a belt that has tradition, that has heritage, that has a legacy to it. And I'll revise that. You have 2 belts. Because the world knows that the NWA Georgia Heavyweight Championship has a long and storied lineage to it. Just like the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship does. And you've got 2 of the very best in the world of professional wrestling getting ready to hook it up this coming Saturday night. Tyson Dean, Rob Conway, for our friends in the Peach State of Georgia, all the way up to South Carolina, all the way down to North Florida, over in eastern Alabama. Griffin, Georgia is not that far away, and it's damn sure worth the drive. Guys?
It's when you hear it put like that, how do you top that?
Yeah.
How do you top that?
Do you want to know what I'm doing right now? I'm literally sitting here in the house that SmarkRage built with my eyes closed, and I'm literally watching Rob throw Tyson from one end of the ring to the other end of the ring, and Tyson begging for him to stop.
Lost your mind. You must have got hit with handcuffs today. I mean, yeah, that's going to happen, but you don't think I'm a man too, Corey? You don't think I'm not going to get up, give it back to Conway? I mean, I love what Stan just said. Look at the list. Look at the list of Georgia heavyweight champions. I mean, it's an impressive group, and I mean, all BS aside, I'm very honored to be, even like the last time we were on here, to even be mentioned in the same breath with some of those men. Now you look at the list of the men that have held the title that Rob Conway's got right now. And whenever I came in earlier listening to him talk about Ric Flair and Harley Race and going all the way back to Buddy Rogers and Lou Thesz, you think I won't fight like hell to be on a list of those guys? I mean, there's nothing I'm not going to do next week, you know. It's all stops, no holds barred till the end to come out with that title.
There's no better way of saying it than that. Let's go ahead and take our third break of the evening. Gentlemen, stick with us for just a moment here. We're going to touch base while we wrap up. Folks, you're listening to WrestleRage Radio right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. It's myself, Stan Grubb, SmarkRage, Eddie Layne, and of course, the heavyweight champion is here as well, Tyson Dean, and the NWA reigning defending world heavyweight champion, Rob Conway, the Iron Man, hanging out with us as well. We'll be right back.
Feel the Iron Rage. Stay tuned. Feel the rage!
This is Drew Galloway, and you're listening to WrestleRage Radio.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy Rave, and I just felt the rage on WrestleRage Radio.
Take two. Welcome back into WrestleRage Radio, 24 before the top of the hour. Deja vu. Show producer Fast Eddie Layne behind the control room in Studio 1, welcoming back in Stan Grubb.
Hey, look at WrestleRage. We're on live.
Welcoming back in SmarkRage, Corey Natch.
Hey, just look at me. This is SmarkRage, Mr. Sunday Night Delight.
Welcoming back in the National Wrestling Alliance Georgia Heavyweight Champion, Tyson Dean.
Just look at Corey. What are you, about 4 bills now, Corey?
3. I hate you. You're going to get punched in the mouth. He's going to beat your ass, boy.
Oh, come on now. Be nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back in the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Man, Rob Conway.
Guys, I tell you what, I appreciate you all having me on the program, and it's been fantastic. You know, I've had a chance to talk to Tyson Dean about our match coming up this Saturday on the 25th. We've pretty much exchanged what we're willing to do to win this match. But guys, as much as I enjoy talking to you guys, and I do, I believe that the time for me talking is over. And what I need to do is just let my actions speak. So on the 25th, Tyson, the IronMan Rob Conway, will be standing across from you in the ring with the heavyweight championship belt, and it'll be your chance of a lifetime. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to talk about it anymore. I'm going to do it the Conway, October the 25th. Guys, thanks for having me, and I look forward to talking to you again as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Champ, you have a safe flight to Atlanta. Punch him in the mouth for me, and you know when you retain that title, we'll have you on.
Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to being on as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You guys have a great night, and like I said, I appreciate you having me on such a quality program. Your questions were awesome, and now it's time for Tyson to get his chance to talk behind my back.
Have a good evening, former champion.
Man, Tyson, you're a scumbag. I'm sorry.
I'm just giving the guy an opportunity to go ahead and get used to being introduced as Rob Conway, the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Why are you trying to rough me up for being a nice guy?
Come on, you know Corey can't rough you up.
I mean, try to respect someone, give him that moniker of the former World Heavyweight Champion, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and you take pot shots at me, Corey.
What's going to happen when Andy Anderson takes that NWA Georgia title from you? Oh, you didn't like that, did you?
No, I didn't like that at all. I mean,
you got silent.
We've got all of our differences worked out. I took the Georgia Heavyweight Championship from Andy.
You know, all it takes is 3 seconds.
I went to hell and back with my best friend. What do you think I'm going to do with Rob next season?
And
you should have brought that up a few minutes ago.
And actually, real quick, Andy's going to have his hands full this coming Saturday night, October the 25th, at October Havoc from NWA Atlanta, as he is slated to challenge for the NWA Atlanta Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Drew Adler.
Corey, if you had the voice that Stan had, you wouldn't have to worry about losing your job.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time I got fired from this hack of a job.
That's probably true.
It is true, sadly.
And actually, real quick, couple of things going on also this coming Saturday night under the banner of NWA Atlanta. The NWA Georgia Tag Team Championship will be defended in a casket match as the champions, the Triple B, the Beautiful Bald Besties, take on Blunt Force Trauma. Also, the finals for the NWA Georgia Junior Heavyweight Championship. Guys, this is going to be a hell of a night of professional wrestling action. Also, Fry Daddy and many, many more are going to be in action this coming Saturday night, Griffin, Georgia, at the Taylor Street Gymnasium.
You know what? I may take that Saturday off. I don't have many Saturdays left to take off, but I may take it. I may head over to Griffin, and I may weasel my way in the front row. I'm sure the front row seats are sold out like they're always sold out, but maybe I could get the promoter to sell me a ticket or 2 or 3. And get in the front row and watch Rob Conway bust Tyson Dean in the mouth.
I'm sure I'm going to get busted in the mouth, Corey. I'm positive I will get busted in the mouth. That happens. But that doesn't mean I'm going to lose. What's going to just join me almost as much as winning that NWA World Heavyweight title is you'll get your little kicks, and I get punched in the mouth, but then you get to cry in your towel whenever I leave out as the new champion.
Okay, let's make a wager.
Hey, that's how Andy's going to get the Georgia title. I'll give it to him after I win the World Heavyweight title. That seems fair.
That's pretty stiff right there.
Let's make a wager. Okay, let's make a wager.
You've already lost one of these this month, Corey. You want to go for 2?
Well, you know. let's make a wager, okay? If you win the NWA World Heavyweight title, I will let you take over my spot as the lead host of WrestleRage Radio. Dandy, don't get your ego in a wad, Stan. You know you're not the lead host, so I'm just putting that out there. Okay? If you win the NWA title while you're on the road defending the title, going from city to city, place to place, country to country, town to town, you could take my spot for 1 month. Okay?
All right.
Now, if you lose...
You have to take a spot for 2 months.
Stan,
I like this deal. It's already in my favor.
If he loses, Stan, what does he have to do?
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't have to worry about that because the problem is he knows that you're not going to fulfill your part of the bargain.
No, I'll fulfill. I'll fulfill.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're going to weld
like
up
you
your
did for
end of it
DTA,
right
man.
now.
Well, we'll have the Beyond Ringside radio lawyers draw up the paperwork in the morning, and I'll get it curried over to him.
What kind of shyster lawyer do you have? You think I'd sign something that a lawyer you have drew up? My legal team could draw it up. You could let your crackpot team draw it up. That's fine. I'll bring them back. My crackpot team, man. You know how many accusations they got me out of?
Wait. Hold on, Tyson. I have to step in my own defense as the person who heads up the station, and this is Eddie Layne speaking, by the way. I have an excellent legal team headed up by Bernard Dewey, James Cheatham, and Howard Howe. Maybe you've heard of them, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
This guy's last name is Cheating.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Yeah, I don't think
these are the worst jokes ever.
Well, I was going to use Bingham, Bangham, and Billum, but
so let's cut to the chase. If he loses, what's he going to do for me for us? Excuse me, Stan.
If it's pay your tab at dinner, we're going to a buffet.
I was about to say, if it's pay your tab at dinner, we're headed to the varsity.
Okay, here you go. If
you pay my drinking tab, and I'll pay your dinner tab. How about that?
If you win, you can be
the
host for the month, and if you lose, you got to take me to the buffet of my choosing.
All right, you're on.
I saw it. We see Chloe coming. We see no more ego in your near future.
We're going to go to a
boy,
buffet.
why are you so big?
I was going to say, I'm thinking that you leave now is in my future.
He no longer gets twice cooked pork. He twice cooked Chloe.
So there you go, folks. Live WrestleRage Radio. The bet. If he loses, he's taking me to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and we'll limit the buffet time for 4 to 5 hours. Okay? Because I want to be fair. I know I know you've got precious time. I know you got to work out. You got to train and all that. It'll be 5 hours maximum, 4 hours minimum.
I figure we could do this either way because after next weekend, I've been training hard. I deserve a cheat meal. So
in that case, we're going to the varsity.
I'll treat to the what? The varsity?
Hell yeah!
Heart attack.
You said a cheat meal.
I don't know. I need to cheat that hard. I've still got to fit in a pair of tights the following week.
Chili cheese slaw dog. Hey, it's great for the diet.
Oh, my stomach is turning already.
Yeah, I know, but it was good.
Wow, that's not good.
Stan, I hope you're prepared.
Talking to Corey.
Stan, I hope you're prepared to deal with me another week because he's not winning that NWA title.
You know what? I might just do a run-in and make sure he wins the title to, guarantee.
What you got on that?
Stan, you know you got bad ankles and you can't run.
All I need to do is be able to swing a chair. I can swing a chair.
So are you going to run all the way from Virginia down to Griffin so you can do the run-in, or are you actually going to drive or fly?
Hold a chair. I'll throw Conway into it. I mean, we can...
Oh, there you go. Even better. See, I don't even have to move.
But here's the
chair firm.
Here's the most important part about that little scenario and deal. Is Stan's wife going to sign the permission slip for him to drive from Virginia to Georgia? And I don't think so. So I know
if
it's
Stan can guarantee me a win, I'll go to Virginia and get Stan, kidnap him, and bring him back down to Georgia. I mean, I said by hook or by crook, and no limitations were out of. There was no limits to what I would do.
Welcome to WrestleRage Radio, where we go from face to heel in one guest.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to get a free buffet out of the deal, okay?
I told you I'd celebrate with you either way. If nothing else, we'll either be you'll be celebrating, or I'll be eating at the buffet with you to rub it in your face. I'm the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
That's a deal.
All right.
That's a deal. And we'll film it. We'll film it for YouTube.
Okay, I'm going to Georgia for this one now. I will make the trip back to Georgia. I was supposed to be in Canton last night. I'm gonna be in Chattanooga next Sunday, so I may actually keep the rental car for an extra day and go ahead and come over to Griffin next Saturday night.
Oh yeah, if it's a rental, run the miles up. Who cares?
Yeah, really, drive it like you stole it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Slide the e-brake, all that.
I'm gonna break code for a second, and I have to do this, and it's totally unrelated to anything we've been discussing. During the course of the show this evening, Peyton Manning broke the record. He made it to 509, and
nobody cares about Peyton
I actually
Manning.
think he just threw another one too.
Thank God.
Who?
Probably one of the.
Why do you care about Peyton Manning? Wait a minute.
Does Peyton Manning
why does he care about
who
Peyton
does he wrestle where? Who does he wrestle for?
Wait a minute. Why do I care about Peyton
The
Manning?
Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Who?
This is WrestleRage Radio.
Record.
Listen, this is WrestleRage Radio. This ain't nothing but about pro wrestling talking. Right now, we're talking about you getting your ass whipped by the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Ironman Rob Conway, myself, Fast Eddie Layne, collecting on a
look
buffet.
back through who I've been up against in a ring over the past year.
Who?
The Warlord, the Barbarian, they couldn't get it done. Gunner couldn't get it done from TNA. Steiner couldn't get it done.
Steiner's
all
old.
These jokers in Georgia couldn't get it done.
Because they're Georgia jokers, that's why.
Well,
you got lucky.
I mean,
you got lucky with Warlord and Barbarian. You got lucky with Steiner.
I get lucky. I knocked him out. I knocked the Warlord out. One hitter quitter. Pow! He was done.
Bang.
Now, do me a favor.
Steiner might have got a little bit touchy on. I mean, a win's a win. We're not going to get into technicalities.
Now, from what I've been able to understand and what I've been able to read and keep up with through NWA Atlanta, you've actually had a very solid run over the last few months, and you have faced some very stiff competition over the last couple of months with NWA Atlanta especially. Who is, in your opinion, who have been your biggest challenges, not necessarily for the gold, but as far as inside the squared circle?
Just in NWA Atlanta or my wrestling career?
Yeah, primarily. Well, since we're focusing on the match that's leading up to at NWA Atlanta, I want to actually mainly focus on NWA Atlanta for a hot second. Then we can expand the search a little bit. But with NWA Atlanta itself, who has been your strongest? Who's given you your strongest match?
It would have either been Fry Daddy or Logan Creed. I mean, Fry. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, He's a guy that he and I trained together, and everything came up, and we split our ways after our training. He came damn close to getting the job done, and pushed me as far as I could possibly be pushed without losing the title a couple of weeks ago. And then Logan Creed, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he's a young guy that's, if he's not 7 foot tall, he's missing it by 1/8 of an inch, and that's a lot of dude to try to move around the ring. And I came out on top of him. Just right quick off the top of my head, those are the two guys that come to mind.
Now, taking that search outside of NWA Atlanta,
it would be Gunner from TNA and that's probably been the toughest match going outside of the NWA Atlanta. And Drew Adler, I've wrestled him, and God, put 3 letters together and call it a promotion. I've wrestled Drew Adler. And that guy, it always seems like we're going, and then being just by the end of the match, you're tired, you're beat up, your lungs are burning, and that he's pushed me to the limit.
Corey, Stan?
You know, he's doing all this. He's doing all this talk. He's doing all this lip service. And when it comes down to it, when it comes down to brass tacks, Rob Conway is going to make him eat those words. He's going to be looking up at the lights with his back to the mat, getting counted out for that 1, 2, 3. And then his good buddy, Andy Anderson, is going to take the NWA Georgia title from him too. You mark my words, or my name ain't SmarkRage.
It's not. It's really Corey.
Yeah, you're high. Andy's got look, man. At the end of the night, next weekend, here's how it's going to go. Right now, as our group tradition, with Michael Stevens and Zach Edwards, we've already got the NWA Georgia Tag Team titles. At the end of the night, Andy's going to have the NWA Atlanta Heavyweight title. I don't know if they'll let me keep the Georgia title after I win the world title, but if you count the Georgia title and the world title, we pretty much got Georgia on a lock after next weekend. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, once I beat Conway, then I'll give to Andy the Georgia title, come hang out in Georgia a little bit, and go do my thing around the world. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, Andy, there's a possibility Andy could have the title after next weekend.
Stan, what
Sounds
you
more
got?
like there's a possibility that we might have a new world champion. I don't know, man. I gotta be honest. I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't remember if it was here or somewhere else. When someone asked me if I felt like I was ready to be in the ring with Rob Conway, and I mean, so like I said before, all jokes aside, I mean, I respect the guy. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for him, but I mean, I'm not going to doubt myself for 1 second about deserving to be in the ring or thinking that I could come out as the champion next weekend.
It sounds like you've definitely got your head on straight to go after it. Rob Conway doesn't sound like he's too concerned. I mean, he seemed pretty pumped up. I think he's prepared for you. You're definitely going to have to bring your working boots.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not planning on. I don't think it's going to come in and be a cakewalk or anything. I mean, I expect that. I'd be disappointed if Rob wasn't looking at. Actually, I'd be pissed off if Rob wasn't looking at me that way. Just, he's the guy with the target on his back. I mean, I've got to worry about however many guys are in Georgia or, around the South that NWA Atlanta could bring in to put a bullseye on my back. Take it out to the globe. There's Rob Conway's target. Anybody and everybody. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm ready to take that shot and be that guy.
Well, I tell you, man, I wish you both luck. I think it's going to be a great match either way, but I would not be too surprised if we saw a new heavyweight champion.
You know what? The time for talk is over. Tyson, you said what you had to say. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the IronMan, Rob Conway, my good buddy who's going to punch you in the mouth, said what he had to say. And I think that's all that needs to be said. You're going to get punched in the mouth. He's going to put you on the top rope. He's going to drop you on your head. And you're going to get on your back for that 1, 2, 3. And you're going to have to go buy me a buffet.
If that happens, I'll most definitely. I told you I'd buy you a buffet either way. We'll either be sitting there and you can rub it in my face for losing, or I'll sit there and shine the World Heavyweight title while you're trying to eat the buffet, but your stomach's so upset because you're looking at the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyson D.
I don't think you have to worry, man. I think he can always find a way to eat.
Oh, he gave it a 4 to 5 hour window, so I'm sure he'll get over it and eat sooner or later.
Yes, and when it comes to a buffet, nobody gets over like Corey.
Oh, yeah, Corey's the Hulk Hogan of buffets. I don't have any doubt about that.
Big boot and the leg drop, brother.
Leg drop on the crab legs.
Eddie Layne, what else we got? We're about to wrap it up here. We got about... How many minutes left we got, Eddie? I don't know. I can't count.
We're 3 before the top of the hour on this Sunday night edition. I want to let everybody know real quick, immediately following WrestleRage Radio this evening, it will be the brand new edition of the Midnight Black Mass, starring the Reverend Dan Wilson. Looking forward to coming up once again in just a few minutes. Let me give you the quick rundown. Thank you to everybody who's been catching the trifecta this evening, Beyond Ringside Live earlier this evening, WrestleRage Radio right now, and the MBM in just a few minutes, through Shoutcast Radio and their mobile app, Winamp and the mobile app, Ustream and the mobile app, TuneIn Radio and TuneIn's mobile app. And we've got more ways to listen than most people have than I have active brain cells. And we've actually got some brand new ways coming on board inside the next 2 weeks. So keep it glued to BeyondRingside.com for everything happening with the entire Beyond Ringside family of shows. And if you would like,
that's very professional talking right there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And let me remind everybody one more time, the show that we've been emphasizing this evening, Saturday night, October the 25th in Griffin, Georgia at the Taylor Street Gymnasium, 234 East Taylor Street, 7:30 p.m. bell time for NWA Atlanta, October Havoc. Friday in the house, the Beautiful Bald Besties, Blunt Force Trauma, Drew Adler, Andy Anderson, our guest at this time, the NWA Georgia Heavyweight Champion Tyson Dean, facing off and hoping for getting his opportunity at the NWA World Champion, who we've just let go of the phone a couple minutes ago. I knew I'd screw that up eventually. The IronMan Rob Conway. Tyson, dude, it's always a pleasure.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm looking forward to coming back on as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Hey, we're always a part of Team Tyson. You know this.
I'm not.
Well, 2 out of the 3 are.
We're the only 2 that matter, though.
That's right. Yeah, I don't really even count Corey anyway. I mean, he's on Team Bandwagon Hopper, whoever's got the title at that man. He'll be on Team Tyson after this weekend. Watch.
He will.
I'll never.
He'll be wearing T-shirts.
He will too. You'll be the first one to stand up. I told you guys. Tyson had it the whole time. I was just kidding. Good thing we've got this recorded, Corey. You're on the line this time.
That's right. Tyson knows. He knows how to play games.
Hey guys, let me throw this before we head to the top of the hour. Let me throw this one out at both of you. Stan, you first. What is the main thing? What is the one thing in particular that has stood out to you in This Week in Wrestling?
This Week in Wrestling was all about, to me, the past few weeks has just been all about indie wrestling. Drew Galloway and his match against Jimmy Rave was a lot of talking about that, a lot of talking beforehand, and a whole lot of chatter afterwards. Just read a headline, as a matter of fact, that apparently Uhaa Nation is next up on the WWE's, I don't want to say hit list, but their scouting reports, apparently they're looking at him next. So
radar.
It seems like indie wrestling is really catching everybody's eye.
SmarkRage, Corey, what is the one thing that stood out to you in the week that was?
Independent wrestling, Drew Galloway, Jimmy Rave, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. Hell of a match. You know, these indie companies try to one-top each other. And, you know, some of them get it, some of them don't. You got the NWA Atlanta bringing in NWA World Heavyweight Champion Rob Conway to face I would say Mr. Dean, but he doesn't deserve respect. Tyson Dean, he's going to get punched in the mouth.
My title.
Those guys get it. The NWA Georgia title. Wee!
Oh, yeah, you got it. That's the legacy behind it.
Dude, let me tell you something. Even though the roles are technically reversed, when I think of the NWA Georgia champion taking on the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, I'm thinking back to a classic matchup, Harley Race taking on Mr. Wrestling 2. So there is lineage, there is tradition, there is lineage, and there is class behind both titles.
Yeah, well, there's an ass behind the NWA Georgia title now.
Knew he was going to do it. I saw that coming.
Hey, brother, I make that belt look good, though, week in and week out.
Not for long, Mr. Dean. Not for long.
Okay.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who in Georgia is going to take it off of me?
Who in Georgia could take it off of you?
Yeah.
Do you want an honest answer? Straight up?
Yeah.
Straight up, no bullshit?
Yeah.
Straight up, 100%.
Oh my God! Give me the answer.
How many times do I have
one or
to
the
say
other?
yes? It's a damn game show, Corey. Give me the answer.
There's two guys in my eyes that can take that title off of you anytime they want it.
Name them.
The Revelation Shane Marks and the real effing deal Jeter.
You need to be drug tested.
He does.
Right damn now, you need to be drug tested.
I've been smoking chickens all night.
I don't doubt it. I think your cholesterol is too high or something. Dude, all I got to do, I got to run 4 laps around the ring until they blow up and fall out in a heap and then damn pin them?
You know? You asked me and I told you, hey, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got it. And I'm a champion. Arn Anderson was a champion. You know what? Cut his mic. Let's get out of here. For SmarkRage, Fast Eddie Layne, the Magic City Motor Mouth, live from Kabul, Iran. This has been SmarkRage. This is WrestleRage Radio.
You're forgetting Stan, Corey.
Huh?
You're forgetting Stan.
Who?
Shut up. Let's do it like this for special guest Tyson Dean.
Hey, this is Tyson Dean, the NWA Georgia champion. Come watch me get knocked out by the NWA. Hey,
you're on bad shit.
Next week in Griffin, Georgia. Follow me on Twitter, the Tyson Dean. Follow my former co-host and friend, Stan Grubb. My former producer, the Magic City Motor Mouth, at Beyond Ringside, at Fast Eddie Layne.
Layne.
Yes.
Yeah, Eddie's got the golden pipes. I want Eddie to bring me out. You suck, Corey.
You know what? I need to go smoke another chicken. Is this show almost over?
Yes, I was trying to.
You've been smoking. You need to stoke it up.
I was actually trying to say, for Stan Grubb.
I'm
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
No, pay attention to the man.
Pay no attention to the little boy behind the curtain.
Actually,
he's too busy eating his chickens.
I thought he was wearing the curtain.
The little boy behind the curtain that Corey's eyeballing awkwardly.
Some departing.
You said it, I didn't.
Yeah, really. For SmarkRage.
Hey, just because you're 4'3", champ, doesn't make you a little boy. Hey, this is SmarkRage.
Mike Tyson was under 6'2", and he was knocking bitches out right and left in under 90 seconds.
Hopefully you'll get knocked out, folks. This is SmarkRage. Tune in next week for a special WWE pay-per-view edition of WrestleRage starting at 11 o'clock Eastern time. What?
We'll talk off air. Go.
Negative.
Go. Okay. We'll talk to you later. Hey, this is SmarkRage. I just felt the rage on WrestleRage Radio. I felt it. Seriously. Feel the rage.
Say goodnight, Stan.
Good night, Stan.
Good night, Stan.
Close enough.